Good day, Amherstburg. It's myself, Laura D'Alessandro.
And it's Ron Giofu from the Rivertown Times, back here on the airwaves of 107.9 FM CKBG The Berg for the Rivertown Times Week in Review.
Well, it feels like more than just a week in review, Ron. It's 30 years in review. This week is the 30th anniversary of the Rivertown Times.
Absolutely. As I alluded to it last week, we got a bit of a retro look going this week. We've replicated the original masthead on the paper, and we've got a full-page ad thanking everyone for their support. I've written a column about, thanking everyone for their support. As I'm sure you will agree, it's, not just the three of us who are, celebrating this anniversary. It's really all about everyone who's played a part in the Rivertown Times, from Karen, Rusty, and Ryan in the beginning, and the original editor, Adrian Hart, to Rich Thorpe, to, all kinds of people. We have Joel Sharon, Peggy Thompson, Michelle White, and I'm just hitting on just a few of the people that have worked for the RTT over the years. Darlene Kopaz, treading into dangerous territory by starting to name names, but yeah. Kim Malott, yeah, I'm just Callie French, and basically if you ever had a hand in working for the Rivertown Times, whether it be in sales, publishing, reporting, graphic design, carriers, including our current carriers, Ashley and Louise, again, so just thank you to everybody, and I know you want to say a few words as well, but I don't want to hog the airwaves here, so...
I'm used to it.
Exactly, yeah.
Also, like you said in your column, just anybody that ever graced the doors of the Rivertown Times, whether you worked for the Rivertown Times, you came in to place an ad, you came in to pick up a paper, if you ever crossed the threshold or opened a newspaper box or downloaded us online, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Ron and I do what we do because of all of you. And, I kind of have this imposter syndrome about myself celebrating 30 years because it's only been ours for 2. Mind you, our work with the paper goes back several years. I would just need to thank the hard work that came before us and the legacy that you and I and Dominic were able to buy into, and that's what carries us through. I know for me, for sure, on the day-to-day is getting the news out there, the people that rely on us and the people that believe in us, and also working with you, Ron. I couldn't pick a better business partner, a better co-owner, a better co-worker, all of it. You are a delight every day to work with, and I'm just so grateful to have you in my life outside of the paper as well. It's just been such a ride with you, and it's hard to believe it's been 30 years. I know when I started back with the paper, the original time, it was 2014, and to think, fast forward, 11 years, I'd be an owner with you. Whoever would have thought? I think you and I kind of pinch each other sometimes and think like, wow, like we really own this place. Like, what? Whoever would have thought? I'm sure if you had told Ron back in 1995, 30 years from today, Ron, you're going to be a part owner of the Rivertown Times, I'm not sure you would have believed yourself.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, as I kind of alluded to in my column, like I was a freelance reporter on the very second issue of the RTT back in 1995. The first issue was Wednesday. I think it was a Tuesday, actually, but I know
I think you're right, yeah.
It was definitely August 8th in 1995, and I was in the August 15th issue with a couple of stories. My buddy Jamie Cruikshank actually was in the inaugural version, along with a lot of stories from the editor at that time, Adrian Hart. So, I mean, just to be part of the legacy of the RTT is something to behold. For many years, as a lot of people recall, I was part of the Amherstburg Echo, and unfortunately, when that closed in 2012, I should say, I'm just kind of repeating syllables here. When that closed, there were some stressful times, but I was fortunate enough to be able to cross the street, hook up with the RTT. Then 2 years ago, I'm thankful for you guys for including me on this crazy little adventure we call ownership. And
that's exactly what that is.
Thank you guys for your hard work, your friendship, and everything that goes along with our relationship as our friends, business partners, co-owners, co-workers, and just
all of the above.
Yeah, thank you, and more importantly, thank the community for supporting us over these 3 decades, and here's to 30 more.
Yeah, exactly. 30 more would be great. Also, I just want to point out, in 1995, I was heading into the 5th grade.
Yeah, there's a bit of an age difference, but that's okay.
30 more years left. I'm not sure.
With age comes wisdom, I like to tell myself.
Oh, there you go.
Probably, maybe not in my case, but...
for most other people.
That's just what I tell myself.
All right, well, I'm going to let you get to the news. I'm not sure if people can tell. I'm actually phoning in. So thank you so much, Ron, for holding down the fort. I know it's been incredibly hot back home, and you were without air conditioning in the office for the last few days. I couldn't have picked a worse time to leave you, and I appreciate you holding down the fort. And thank you to CKBG for making this happen, for me being able to call in today, and to wish Amherstburg well and to thank them on our big milestone. So thank you, everybody at the radio. Thank you, Amherstburg. I love what I do, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I have the best job in town. So thank you, Amherstburg. Have a great day.
And take care, Laura. Have a great rest of your vacation. I'll see you next Monday back at the office. And turning our attention to this week's paper, lots of stuff on the go this week. We lead with the Living History Festival. That was at Fort Malden National Historic Site. And I was there both days on the weekend, and it was for the 2-day event, from anything from military encampments to artillery demonstrations, musket firings, all kinds of stuff. They had a fashion show. They had a lot of the local museums were there to kind of show what they do as well. It was not just a Fort event. I know a lot of museums and groups from around the town were at Fort Malden on the weekend, and it's kind of an annual tradition at Fort Malden, so I was glad to be part of it as well. It's always a great photo event, a lot of colorful uniforms, lots of marching, a lot of artillery firing, and just a great all-around event, and looks like a lot of people enjoyed it. Speaking with Interpretive Officer Alex Dale from the Fort, and he says a lot of people come in from out of town to reenact in the event, and he says there was reenactors that drove like 7 or 8 hours from Eastern Ontario to be part of it, so that was great to be part of and great to see, and yeah, it was an enjoyable event to cover, and it's we lead off on page 1 of this week's RTT, and I know we had a military type event on our front page 30 years ago, so we're kind of continuing that tradition as well, and so it starts on page 1 of this week's issue, continues to page 15, and it's of course our lead story on the website, www.rivertowntimes.com, and moving ahead, congratulations last Thursday night, and that goes out to Karen Bolger. She is now the retired Executive Director of Community Living Essex County. She was the Executive Director for the last 7 years, but she had a 40-year career in total with Community Living Essex County, and she worked her way up the ranks, and she succeeded at every level she was at, including the last 7 years as the Executive Director. She has retired, and job well done to Karen. We've got a full story on page 2 of this week's RTT, and again on the website, and so make sure you check it out. Karen lives here in Amherstburg, so if you see her around, make sure you congratulate her. She had a wonderful career. For me, I knew her kind of in 2 roles. I knew her obviously through the paper, did a story on her. I'm also on the board of directors, so I know we're pretty proud of Karen and the job she did, and congratulations to her once again, and congratulations to Corey Dalgley. She's our new Executive Director. He took over on Tuesday as the new ED, and we know Corey's going to do a great job, and I've had the pleasure of working with 2 great Executive Directors in the past, Nancy Wallace-Giro and Karen, and Corey's going to continue that tradition of excellence, and once again, congratulations to Karen. Her retirement celebration was last Thursday at the Chicharo Club, and again, the full story in this week's issue of the Rivertown Times. Emancipation Day events were held last week. The Amherstburg Freedom Museum was busy last Friday. They opened the museum free of charge as part of Emancipation Day events, and Emancipation Day, of course, is when the British colonies, or what is now Canada, officially abolished slavery. That came into effect August 1st, 1834, so that made last Friday's celebration that important. And I know I was at a screening of a movie at 12 Years a Slave was the film at the River Bookshop a couple days earlier. There was a roundtable discussion that followed it, and we've got the full story on both events and one big story in this week's issue of the Rivertown Times in the print edition and on the web. So make sure you check out that important story. And again, the Freedom Museum is having their Walter Perry golf tournament coming up very shortly. I believe it's this Saturday, actually. Their gala September 20th at the Caboto Club in Windsor, celebrating their 50th anniversary. This is a big year for the Amherstburg Freedom Museum as well. 50 years for that great museum. We hope the community continues to support it, and they lasted another 50 years, if not longer. And even more congratulations in this week's paper. We have a lottery winner. We got a story on Cody Northgrave. The OLG announced he won over $103,000 last. Actually, he was announced last week, but he won it in May. We understand there's even more winners in Amherstburg coming up, so check for more announcements in the coming weeks and months. But this time it's Cody's time in the limelight, and so congratulations to Cody on your lottery win. The winning ticket was purchased here in Amherstburg at Lynn's Variety. Of course, that's on Richmond Street, as most of us know, but that's on one of the lucky spots here in town. So make sure you check out the story in this week's issue of the Rivertown Times. I know I put it on social media last week, and it was quite popular. A lot of people sharing congratulations to Cody, and once again, we offer ours as well. It was busy on the weekend, not just with Living History, but with Amherstpalooza. A music event took place in the open air footprint. It was actually at the Clock Tower at the corner of Richmond and Dalhousie. All afternoon last Saturday and into the evening, a variety of performers took to the stage and showcased their musical talents. I know Musicland had a lot to do with coordinating event. Their own, of course, Bethany Delamonte, and they helped put that event on. And I know the town's putting in more themed weekends during the month of August for open air, so check visitamherstburg.com. Make sure you take a look, but Amherstpalooza was on page 3. Our own Fred Groves looked after that one. And again, check out the Visit Amherstburg website for even more content coming up during the month of August. Again, another big week for ribbon cutting. things. We touched on that a little bit last week. The Gentleman's Reserve Barbershop opened on Dalhousie Street, so we combined that story with a couple more ribbon cuttings. On page 5 of this week's RTT, Pantry Heaven & Co. Just opened up. They're located at 400 Sandwich Street South. They're in the Walmart Plaza. They're selling all kinds of food items for dietary needs and that sort of thing, so make sure you check out that store. Again, they're in the section. There were Lee J. Nails, I believe H&R Block, Guac, several other businesses. I believe the RBC's in that building, but it's at the 400 Sandwich Street South. It's within the Walmart Plaza. And about an hour later, after cutting that ribbon, the mayor was over at the Golden Oven European Bakery at 290 Sandwich Street South. I know that's a lot of people have been anticipating that one, and it sure looked it when I was there for the ribbon cutting. A lot of people sampling that new bakery and that new coffee shop. They had all kinds of baked goods and goodies and all kinds of tasty treats, and check that out. Again, that's at 290 Sandwich Street South, just south of Town Hall, and between Gore and Simcoe Street. So make sure you check that out, and the Golden Oven European Bakery. And a whole lot more stuff in this week's issue of the RTT, so make sure you pick it up. Fred was out at some pickleball action. Another tournament was held over the weekend over the new courts at the Libro Center here in town. So make sure you check that out. I know Essex MPP Anthony Liardi was busy last week. He was out at the Sunshine Point Camp operated by the Kiwanis. That's just east of Harrow. So they got some grant funding, so make sure you check out that. Pick up this week's paper, find out what that's all about, and just take a look through the paper and through our website, www.rivertowntimes.com. I did want to hit on a couple of events coming up. I know this weekend's Friday through Sunday out at Coan Park in McGregor, the Essex County Steam and Gas Engine Show takes place. Again, it's for the 3 days, and you want antique farm equipment, you want to see steam engines, you want to see all kinds of stuff, threshing machines and all that kind of stuff, agricultural history of years gone by. It's out at Coan Park this coming weekend, Friday through Sunday. Admission charges do apply. We have some information in last week's RTT. We did the story on the binding of the wheat, so make sure you check that out. So this weekend at Coan Park. And a little traffic note, if you're heading through McGregor on Saturday morning, be advised of the annual tractor parade that starts at 9 a.m. and heads from St. Clement's Church down Walker to Concession 11 and over to Coan Park. Be advised, if you're in the McGregor area, you're more invited to watch, or if you're just headed through, you'll run into some traffic delays there, so be advised of the traffic. But have some fun, watch the parade, and that's all part of the Essex County Steam and Gas Engine Show. The Inspired Change Fun Fest is coming to Encounter Church this Sunday from 12 to 5 p.m. That's fundraising for Feeding Windsor Essex. Again, that's at Encounter Church, the Inspire Change Fun Fest from 12 to 5. Encounter Church, of course, is located at 125 Alma Street here in Amherstburg. There is a craft show and bake sale from 10 until 2 Sunday. That's out at Wildwood Golf and RV Resort that is in McGregor. So if you're there for the steam show, check out the craft show and bake sale out at Wildwood. And again, lots of events happening. I believe I mentioned the upcoming Freedom Museum Golf Tournament. And I know there's the Amherstburg Food and Fellowship Mission Golf Tournament, and we've been promoting that. I know CKBG has been promoting that as well. And that is coming up August 16th. That's at Dominion Golf Club in LaSalle. Check out the poster that's posted up around town. I know abergmission.ca. You can check that out, and you can sign up there, or you can become a sponsor at that website as well. It's abergmission.ca, or call the mission at 519-736-9140, or even stop by at 298 Victoria Street South. And again, special thanks once again to everyone for these past 3 decades of the Rivertown Times. Again, Laura, Dominic, and I are just keepers of the legacy right now, and it started 30 years ago. It continued on these many years, and we hope to continue on the tradition for many years to come. And for anyone who's had a hand in the RTT over these past 3 decades, thank you so much. We appreciate you more than we can tell you, and thank you to our readers, and thank you to our loyal advertisers. We appreciate you as well. And thank you to the folks here at 107.9 The Berg, and thanks to our drivers, Louise and Ashley. Again, they're out delivering the paper all around Amherstburg, Essex, Harrow, and LaSalle. And Laura will be back in studio next week. We'll be back on the airwaves at 12 noon and 4:30 p.m. Thanks again, Amherstburg, and talk to you again next week.